Hello everyone, my name is ProPokeNoob and today I am back on your screen with my face, making the face-to-face contact, humanly contact via internet, because why not? And I'm pretty sure this is going to become my podcast, series for my channel, because I really like doing this, and I like talking to you guys face-to-face, and you guys get to see the evolution of my tattered clothing, because I don't bother to buy new clothes, and it's, whatever. Also, I am going to deeply apologize for the buzzing in the back. I'm going to try and put some music over it. It's just the USB ports are getting worse, and I feel really sorry for people in Skype calls. This is terrible. Holy God. So, yeah, I'm going to try and cover that. But anyways, today, whether you may or may not know it, a few days ago there were some tier changes, so that's why I'm bringing you the Because Why Not series. That's probably when it's going to come out, when there's stuff to talk about in the Pokemon world, or, I'm just feeling like talking to you guys, because, talking to you guys is awesome, and I like to talk to you about my life and stuff like that. But, just to go over quickly, these are going to be some of the topics that I'm going to be discussing, not necessarily in this order. Hopefully, can you see that? Really tricky to do. There we go! My writing is terrible, you probably can't see it anyways, but this is the stuff that we're going to be talking about here on top of just other general stuff. So, just to start off, there were a couple of battles that I put up in the past few days. If you haven't seen them, I'm going to put one in this hand right there, and I'm going to put another one in this hand right there. So, if you haven't seen them, they're going to be resting in both hands here, and, go check them out, because if you may or may not have noticed that I have been gone for quite a while, and I'm uploading at a very sparse rate, mainly because I've been extremely busy this semester. It's been nuts how many assignments I've had to do. I've written 4 essays in about 2.5 weeks, and I have another one that I'm writing that's due in 2 weeks, which is actually due after my first exam. So it's terrible. I'm trying to get it done now, but you know that feeling, like that disgusting feeling that you get when you're writing, when you're doing so many assignments and so much homework that you feel gross. You're motivated. Well, you're not motivated, but I mean, like, you want to do it. I guess that's motivation, but you want to do it, and it feels so bad doing it. But you're like, no, you gotta keep going. You're pumping yourself up and stuff. It's like, yes, I can do it, but you just feel so awful doing it. God, it's like, I don't know, a really dirty analogy I'm not gonna make. So. Yeah, so that's where I've been busy, and if you can actually tell by the face here, it's a very big tell if you look at my face how stressed I am by just how much of an outbreak I get, because I'm generally clean, but if I'm stressed out about something, that's what basically happens. So, yeah, so that's what's going on with my life. Other than that, I mean, life's good. Just, I'm going to be starting my teaching block soon. If you guys don't know, I'm trained to be a phys ed and geography teacher in high school levels. So, starting April 29th, I actually go 20 straight days with my mentor teacher, who I've been with all year, and I actually take over her class and actually run a whole unit. So, it should be really fun. I haven't been really thinking about it. Even though they say we should be thinking about it, I'm really not, because, I've got my undergrad and my exams and essays and everything to do first, and that stuff can come later, so. But anyways, that's enough about my life. We're going to get on to the main part of this show, which will be the tiers changes. There's been a few. I don't think I've missed any. I think there were only 4 tier changes, and they're all in the lower level tiers. Nothing been changed in OU or Ubers, but there is a possibility of something changing there, but we will discuss that later. First of all, let's start off with something that I definitely agree with, a tier change that was needed absolutely. I am so happy they did this. Ladies and gentlemen, Nidoqueen has been moved to UU. Thank God. It was being used on every team. I am not kidding you. I wasn't using the team, it was on the team. Just because I didn't want to use Nidoqueen. It was a stupid Pokemon to be in RU. I think the reason why it was moved down over Nidoking was because Sheer Force released in the Dream World, when they were comparing it to, Nidoking used to be the offensive one, and then Nidoqueen was the defensive one with leftovers in UU, if you guys remember that. It was just basically seen as a defensive wall, so they're like, you know what, there are better... Ow, excuse me, my neck is pretty bad, so I might be cracking it a lot, which I've been doing for a long time now, but anyways, yeah, that's awkward. Yeah, it used to be used as a wall in UU, so they moved it down to RU, because like, oh, it's just a wall, so it'll fit nice and well as a wall in RU. Then they discovered, hey, you know what, it's pretty friggin' powerful, and it's 10 base speed lower or whatever The speed that it has, I'm going to look it up here, but the speed that it had is lower than Nidoking, so it wasn't necessarily used as the sweeper, but, you know, in RU, its speed matched pretty well to be a sweeper, and I mean, it could be both, you know, Stealth Rock 3 attacks with Life Orb Sheer Force, and it could take hits fairly decently, and it was pretty appreciated in RU, but you know what, it was just doing way too much damage, so it needed to go. Yeah, let's see, it has base 76 speed, and Nidoking has base 85 speed, so it's only 9 base speed lower, but I mean, that was more than enough, and actually, you know what, I think the special attack matters too. Let's see. We've got, yes, Nidoqueen is base 75 special attack, while Nidoking is base 85 special attack, and we're not even going to look at the physical side, but that's still 10 points lower, but I mean, that was more than enough to make Nidoking the superior choice, just because it actually has higher stats, which matters on damage calc, so you guys know how Pokemon works. So, I'm going to bring it back to some of my notes here. Yeah, so, once it moved to RU, it was just a giant threat. You guys know, if you play RU, it was just too good. It was just way too good for what it could do. It could provide support and deal giant, or just punch giant holes in the team. So, I think going to UU will clean that up a little bit. And I think, you know what, it'll fit there. If not, it'll go to BL2, whatever. Like, as long as it left RU, that's kind of like Amoonguss. Like, I mean, as long as Amoonguss left NU, that's all that matters. So, same thing with Nidoqueen. As long as it leaves RU, doesn't matter where it goes from there. So, that's one change that I definitely agree with. Smokin', you made a good call. Good job. Okay, now moving on, there were 3 Pokemon that were kicked down to NU. Now, there's one that I agree with. There's one that's kind of iffy for me. I need to see it in action, although I've come up actually with some more thoughts as I was actually preparing for this. And then there's one that I'm just totally disgusted with. So, the one that I agree with is Primeape going down to NU. Now, this was really sad and very surprising, actually, because there were a lot of people that were talking about Hariyama being the fighting type going down to NU, and I was freaking out hearing, why the heck are you kicking that thing down? It's got amazing HP, it's got amazing attack, it's bulky as frick, and I mean, not bulky in the sense that it has high attack and special, or high defense and special defense with HP, but just it has so much, it has Chansey-like HP, so, you know, give that thing a Toxic Orb with Guts, and it's a giant destructive force. And I'm thinking, you know, of all the Pokemon in the tier, why would you... People are using it, you know, Fake Out with being able to easily set up Guts with your Toxic Orb is nuts. Like, it's easy. So, why the heck would you kick it out? And I'm worried about it, I'm like, waiting for the tier changes and everything, and then I look at it and go, Primeape to NU. And that actually made kind of sense. Not saying that Primeape isn't good. Primeape is a fantastic Pokemon. It's an excellent scout, has decent, I think it has base 95 speed and 100 attack or something like that, and it has good coverage. It has the Ice Punch, has the close combat, has the U-turn, and you know, a lot of fighting types can't really boast that it had U-turn in RU. I think it was the only one. I'm trying to think, there was, no, I don't even think Medicham got U-turn, or does it? I think that was the only one that got U-turn. I'm not sure on that, but, you know, there weren't a lot of other Pokemon that could really boast that, and it had the speed to be a pretty good Scarfer. But I think what it was is just based on how RU works, and the fact that there are quite a bit of Psychics in it, like Uxie and Slowking, that are pretty popular. Especially Slowking, that thing is #1, I think, on the usage tiers. Unless it changed in April, but I haven't... Well, I mean, I'm recording this in April, obviously, but I haven't actually looked at the tier usage numbers, so... I'm only doing this based off what I've seen and what people have been saying in the Showdown chat, which, you know, is kind of crazy sometimes to listen to. But anyways, moving on, yeah, Primeape is just outclassed. It's not that it's bad, it's just outclassed. You know, stuff like Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan offered the... Well, Hitmonchan offered that specially defensive bulk, where it could easily bulk up, or it could just punch back with Drain Punches and actually just keep itself alive. Hitmonlee has the Unburden, which it can easily set up and become a very effective sweeper. Then you have stuff like Gallade and Medicham. Medicham's got the Pure Power... Shoot, I checked that before that. Is it Pure Power or Huge Power? I think it's Pure Power. Pure Power, Pure Power. Scroll down, L-M-N-O-P-M. M, please, tell me. Keep talking. Medicham. Medicham, Pure Power, yes. So yeah, it's got the Pure Power, so it definitely makes up for its strength there. And with a Scarf, I mean, it's slower than Primeape, but it provides a heck of a lot more power for being a little bit slower, so... That's not too bad. And then, I mean, Gallade has a dual stab. It has the access to Swords Dance. Like, I mean, it can set up and be a sweeper. Unfortunately for Primeape, it's stuck with Choice Syndrome, which means that generally it's going to be your Choice Scarf or very rarely Choice Band. Well, not very rarely, but more uncommonly Choice Banded. And it's kind of like... I just went to... There we go, cool. Did that just cut me out? You stupid... I don't know if it cut out the camera, but hi, how you doing? Yeah, but I mean, it was stuck with the Choice Scarf, generally, right? Because it was known as a Scout, so it didn't really provide too much power. And I mean, Vital Spirit is a good ability to have on him, especially with a Moongus moving up to RU. It wasn't too bad, you know, you can come in on the Spore, and then, you know, it's not really going to be able to do much to a Primeape, or at least you can U-turn out, and they won't really feel comfortable going for Spore, predicting that, perhaps. You know, I got a Fear and Ice Punch and stuff like that, but I mean... Overall, I think, you know, Primeape and NU is not too bad, and I've been watching people play with Primeape and NU. It's actually, it's pretty good. It fits in, it's got the speed, it's got the power, it's enough to do in NU, so I think it's actually not bad. Of course, it's got competition with Sawk, and I still think Sawk has a bit superiority just because I think it has a higher attack for the same speed, and it also comes with Mold Breaker and Sturdy, so, you know, you can make your choices there. You're not stuck with necessarily just Vital Spirit if you don't have to fear sleeping problems, yes. Hands go everywhere. So, yeah, that's about Primeape. I think it's a pretty good idea. I don't know. It's nothing. I'm not upset about it. I don't really care. I'll see it in NU. Okay. You got Musharna and stuff like that to deal with it anyways. So, Pokemon that I'm iffy about. Munchlax. Now, when I saw this, I actually cried a little. Not literally. You could take it and you could look at me and say, would I literally cry over Munchlax? Maybe. Who knows? But it kind of just struck me as weird how you would send something that was so good at walling special attackers that swept the whole RU tier and kick it down to NU. I mean, it doesn't stop anyone from using it in RU, but I mean, you know, when people look at the tiers and stuff like that, they go, oh, whoa, it's not an RU anymore, can't use it, right? Like, kind of when I did the Miltank and UU, hello, it works. It works to a certain extent, right? Depends on what you need for your team. So, Munchlax was interesting. It's an interesting Pokemon. It can't do the same thing as Snorlax. I mean, it does now, but I mean, Snorlax could be offensive. Munchlax has no potential of being offensive. Not saying that it should be offensive and Snorlax should be offensive, but in the ways of defensive prowess, they were both very good at defensive prowess. Not seeing Snorlax dropping any time because it belongs in UU would be way too bulky for an RU, especially defensive wall. But Munchlax, I mean, it was stuck to Eviolite. I mean, it had to have Eviolite, and it had to have Rest. And I'm pretty sure it had the bread and butter moveset of Body Slam, Rest, Whirlwind, and Sleep Talk. I think it was a Rest Talk with Whirlwind and Body Slam. So, I mean, Ghost just completely pooped on it. Ghosts in RU, Rotom would be, I guess, the more well-known one. But even so, it provided very good walling potential in it, and I mean, you combining it with, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but a Pokemon that, like, I mean, Uxie in RU? Yeah. I mean, combining it with Uxie, it made a very good defensive core. So, it's just, I found it very strange, and I'm thinking, you know, it's really bulky, why would you send it down to NU? And then I thought about it, and I looked at the changes, and I saw, okay, well, they kicked down Primeape, and Sawk is pretty popular, and they needed something for Musharna, and there's quite a bit of fighting types down there, or physical threats that could, I guess, maybe set up on Munchlax, even though it's got stupid Whirlwind. I don't know. That's where I get confused, because I'm thinking, you know, it's not overly stupid because it has to be defensive, has to use Eviolite, it has to use the same 4 moves, otherwise it kind of sucks. You can use Charm, but what the heck's the point in that? So, but at the same time, it's like, RU needed him. Like, he was in RU for a reason, you know, stuff like Moltres, Typhlosion, had the thick fat to deal with that stuff, Cryogonal, you know, it was there to take the hits. It was there to help the team with giant sweeping threats. It could come in, take the hit, even if the Pokemon had already set up, or could watch it set up in its face, hit him, he would live, rest it off, Sleep Talk a Whirlwind, see you later, or he could just Whirlwind then rest, whatever he wanted to do. And I mean, no one cared about his speed or the fact that he had to be defensive. That was his role. That's what he is. So, I don't know. It was weird. It's weird. I don't necessarily agree with it. I would like to see it. I might use it just to see how it works in NU. I think it would be extremely powerful. Obviously top tier. I could be wrong because I haven't played in a bit. I haven't played in maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks, so the uploads you've been watching are a little bit older, from I think mid-March, which is not too bad. I still remember what happened, but I mean, just bear with me. I gotta get through school before I actually start battling again. Seriously for ProPokeNoob standards, but I don't know. I'm on the fence with Munchlax. I mean, originally I was like, what the heck are you doing, you stupid Smogonites? But at the same time, now I think about it and I go, okay, well, we'll see. We'll see what's going on. Now, the Pokemon I do not agree with, the Pokemon I think is totally stupid and should not have moved down to NU for any conceivable reason. As I crack my neck. It makes my neck cringe. Ladies and gentlemen, Scolipede. Okay. If you turn your attention this way, which you cannot see, so I don't know why I'm pointing you to that direction, but Scolipede. Have you ever used a Scolipede before? I'm going to ask you this. If you've ever used a Scolipede before, you are probably amazed at the amount of roles it could run on your team. It could be a lead, it could be a suicide lead, so essentially your Deoxys defense with more speed, more attack, and can actually punch a hole before it left the field. It could be your Choice Banner. It could be your Swords Dance setup. It could be your Life Orb Sweeper. It could be your Agility Sweeper. It could be your Choice Scarf, which is not very good. I tried it, but it could be your mixed of utility and attacking. It could be your Baton Pass. It's got so many things it can do. And it's not like its stats suck. I mean, it's got 89 defense and 69 special defense, and I think 60 HP. Which is not amazing, but you have to remember these are lower tiers. So for the amount of utility that it brings with 112 speed and 90 attack, 112 speed and 90 attack, there we go, gotta keep it in the camera there, hi. Yeah, it's been a while since I uploaded, recorded, hi. Oh, I did it a few days ago. What am I saying? Hi, good morning. Yeah, it is good morning, 1:30 in the morning, cool. Scolipede is stupid in NU, we're gonna put it at that, okay? Because it's got it can be unpredictable. And I mean, you know, you see it in the lead, doesn't mean that it won't set up a Swords Dance and try and punch as many holes as it can before it leaves. And hey, surprise, it's got a Focus Sash, or surprise, it's got a Life Orb, or Lumberry, or something really dumb like that. And it hits like a truck. It's got its move pool for attacking is good. It's got Mega Horn, Earthquake, Rock Slide, Aqua Tail. It's got Superpower now because of Dream World. And it gets Quick Feet, which when you think about it would be stupid, but if you try to paralyze it, I'm pretty sure it negates the paralysis. Don't quote me on that. I should have looked that up, but I think it doesn't give necessarily the speed boost. It's not like Guts where when it gets burned it actually gets the attack raise, as opposed to, I think that's how it works, right? Negates the attack, yeah, it boosts the attack. I'm not sure if Quick Feet works the same way, because I think I read somewhere, I thought it was, and I'm like, wow, just paralyze your own guy, and there you go, double the speed. No. I don't think it necessarily works like that, but, you know, with Quick Feet, if you can't Toxic it, but if they paralyze it, I mean, cleans up. But you're generally going to be running Swarm, just because if it's going to be a suicide lead, you want to punch a hole with Mega Horn, and it's going to be boosted, and hey, surprise, if you put a Life Orb on it, or the frickin' scary Swords Dance Salig Berry, or Sub Salig, oh my dear god, have you guys even thought of that? Like, I don't know why. Scolipede was used in RU. It wasn't used all the time, and I can imagine because there's a lot of Psychic types running around, mainly Gallade, could just come in and be like, hey, screw your attack, and slice him with a Psycho Cut. But, I mean, it boggled my mind. I'm like, what the heck is he doing in NU? He punches holes. And, of course, what do you think is spiked in NU usage? Mischievous and Wheezing. Because they both come in, take a hit. I think it's a 3-hit KO on a standard attacking Life Orb, Decline, Call, because I need to and I'm recording. But standard Adamant Life Orb, Scolipede with a Mega Horn attacking, a standard defensive Mischievous is like a 3-hit KO. So, I mean, it takes the hit and it can come in and go Will-O-Wisp. Right? That's fair. That's fair. I mean, you have Pokemon to deal with it. But again, it's going back to that whole stupid Genesect Heatran thing, where you needed a Pokemon just to deal with another Pokemon. You needed a Heatran to check the Genesect, and it was only a check. Same thing with Wheezing and Mischievous. Not necessarily a counter, it's a check, but if it sets up enough, it's going to punch a hole in you. That was without a +2 boost, too, for the 3-hit KO, if I am not mistaken. So I think it's stupid. I really, really think it's stupid, and it has way too much utility, has way too much versatility, and it's going to be used. It's already being used, and people are complaining about it. I'm not the only one saying this. There are a lot of people who agree with me, and I agree with them, that Scolipede going to RU is a bit rash. And it doesn't make any sense to go to BL3, but I mean, it's better than being an NU. I really think it's a stupid thing. Excuse me a moment. Man, that's good. Whew. So, I don't know. It definitely should not be NU. In the ways of it being RU, I think it could be. I would think it was very good RU material. Heck, it's very powerful. It does its job, and it doesn't suck at it. It's not outclassed. Well, I mean, it can be outclassed by other bug types or other poison types, but I mean, you know, access to both spikes and toxic spikes, as well as Swords Dance, Baton Pass, and a good attacking move pool. Yikes! That's like taking the NU Pokemon that you wish could be OU, and then inserting Scolipede DNA. That's what Scolipede is. Like, Scolipede is a catalyst to all aspiring bug and poison types who wish they could be him, i.e. Garbodor. So, because Garbodor's kind of the same way, except he lacks Swords Dance, speed, and everything else, and he looks ugly as frickin' as a stupid Pokemon. But anyways, yeah. So that's my opinion on Scolipede. I think it's really dumb. You guys can comment about it. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair at all. And if you see Subsalic, go cry to your mom. It's a freaky thing. So, those were the main things that would happen in the tier changes. Now, if you looked at the list, I went out of order a little bit. I'm going to go more out of order. Go straight to the suspecting. They're actually suspect testing Moody. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if you guys know what Moody does, or if you don't know what Moody does, essentially you, every turn, have one attack, or one stat, one random stat, I should say, go up by 2 stages, and then another random stat go down a stage. It won't be the same one, so if you get +2 in attack, you won't get a -1 attack, you get like +2 in attack and -1 in evasion, let's say. Now, I don't know about you, but that's a pretty luck-based thing, so, you know, the fact that they're bringing it to Ubers is kind of funny because, you know, we had something like this happen. I'm surprised that Moody wasn't already in Ubers, because, you know, Sandvale was banned to Ubers because it's luck-based, and because, you know, oh, it's stupid. I mean, you only have to work to get your Weather War 1, and then you have to keep the weather up, and then you have only a select few Pokemon that can abuse it, and hey, it only cuts out, you know, 20% accuracy on moves, but hey, Moody, yeah, that we had to ban that. It's just way too random. It can change way too many teams. You know what? You want to put Moody in Uber? Bring it, because you know what uses Moody? Octillery and Smeargle, and Bibarel. So, I think it's a really stupid excuse for a banning, because the Pokemon that abuse Moody, now, I could be extremely wrong. You know what? I could be extremely wrong. There could be a Pokemon here. You know what? We're gonna do this right now. You can't see it, but I actually use 2 computers, if you didn't know that by now. Let's take a look at abilities quickly, because, you know, there could be an Uber Pokemon that gets Moody, and I'm completely missing it. That's why they're testing it. Moody. Oh, oh, jeez, gotta watch for the Glalie. Whee! Yeah, no. That's in the Dream World. You got Bibarel, anything that would be potentially used. Bibarel, Glalie, Octillery, Smeargle, and then you got the little cup versions of those. Yeah, I don't know why it's banned. I mean, you know, I don't think a +6 Glalie is going to sweep any team, or a +6 Bibarel. But, I mean, it struck my mind, and I'm thinking Sandvale was banned because of the amount of luck. But if we're going off just the fact that it was because of luck and we can put it in Ubers, why didn't we already have Moody in Ubers? Like, come on, guys, seriously. And I'm thinking, you know, it might have been Smeargle that actually might have abused the Moody, and because it has Baton Pass and so does Glalie, that might be the reason. But I mean, you know, you've allowed Evasion Clause, and you got like MBZ using the Drift Blim, so I mean, I don't know, bring it. I mean, people will be able to stop. You got Lugia with Whirlwind anyways. What are you gonna do with your Moody? Unless you get like an Ingrain setup, which would actually be very viable, because you can Baton Pass Ingrain and then it can't be blown out, or you can just bring your Cradley and have fun with it. But anyways, enough about that. That's Moody, and I'm pretty moody about Scolipede. But nonetheless, the thing that I'm going to not end this off with, but it's going to be the last topic of discussion, is actually something that's going on in discussion now. The Masters of Pokemon, who the frick determines this stuff? I don't even know. Who works on this? What board? How do you determine a board on this? Other than, you know, you have a certain rating on, what's it called? Certain rating on, I'm too close to you guys, am I? Certain rating on Pokemon Showdown, PO, whatever the frick it is. But they are discussing Landorus. Now, this is Landorus Normal, Landorus Incarnate, Landorus I, Landoi, whatever you call it, it's Landorus, Normal Landorus. They're discussing bringing it up to Ubers. Now, I took part in a little discussion on Pokemon Showdown and with a few people with this, and the main reason why they want to ban it is because of its Dream World ability, Sheer Force. So again, Sheer Force ruining lives, but particularly Sheer Force with a Pokemon that learns Rock Polish. And Landorus tends to run Rock Polish now, and you know, with Life Orb, Sheer Force, fantastic coverage of Earth Power, Focus Blast, and HP Ice on a Pokemon with... Darn it, I lost the page. Oh, joy. It's got 101 speed. Am I right? Am I right? Please find it really quickly. This is so unprofessional, but you know me. I like to be nice and casual here, and I'm also talking low because people are sleeping and they can hear me through the vent right above me, so I apologize if I am too quiet. But Landorus has 101 speed as well as 115 special attack, so it's very powerful. Now, its attack is higher, but because most of his physical attacks cannot abuse Sheer Force, that's why a lot of people run the special variant with the Life Orb, because it just makes more sense and you get more power output with it. Now, the weird thing is, though, that the reason is because it's annoying, and we've heard this before with Keldeo, we've heard this before with Tornadus T, but that was justified because, you know, Regenerator with coming in on rocks, doing a Life Orb hit, coming back next time with 2% less health, you know, is kind of stupid. Landorus, if you notice, we are trying to ban a Pokemon that the only reason that it's getting banned is because we can kick it up +2 and nothing can outspeed it. Now, you may have forgotten that it's ×4 weak to Ice, that it doesn't resist any priority other than Mach Punch, which is not commonly seen per se, other than on Breloom, and I don't know why you'd use a Breloom against Landorus, but I don't think it should go to Ubers, and this is why. I've watched it in battles, I've used Life Orb, Sheer Force, Landorus in battles without Rock Polish, because I'm not looking at the fact that it gets double the speed. I'm looking at how much damage it can dish out. It can dish a lot of damage out, but it's not like it OHKOs everything, and it's not like it's getting a special attack raise unless you're running Calm Mind. And I don't think it has the sustainability to run Calm Mind. It's only got base 90 defenses, right? Yeah, it's only got base 90 defense and 80 special defense, so it's not like it can take hits like a boss. It's not a beast. It's good, but it's not a beast. And what I'm thinking is people are just annoyed with the fact that they don't carry Mamoswine or they don't carry a centralized Pokemon that can deal with Landorus. People, there's solutions to this. You got Bullet Punch. Scizor's run on almost every team. Bullet Punch actually does a decent chunk with Choice Band. You've got stuff like Lucario. Lucario's coming back too, which is really cool, and it's got extreme speed. You've got Dragonite with extreme speed. Priority is Landorus's weakness. It doesn't matter how many Rock Polishes it sets up, it doesn't have any priority of its own. On top of that, you can run Psychic over HP Ice, which some people do. I used to do that just because I didn't want to reveal my item. I wanted to fake this Scarf, or I wanted to fake the Expert Belt, because, you know, people used to run Expert Belt over Life Orb on some Landorus, just to fake that they had the HP Ice, and they would actually not. But, you know, I also didn't want to take Life Orb Recoil from, what's it called, from HP Ice, because I wanted to bluff maybe Mixed, because I run Stealth Rocks, actually, Stealth Rock 3 attack on my Life Orb Landorus. But nonetheless, stop doing that, you stupid computer. Keep me on the camera, thank you. Hi. So, I think if it's just going to be a ban because it's annoying, then that's stupid. It should not be banned because it's annoying, and it should. And I'm not denying that it doesn't do a lot of damage and that it cannot sweep entire teams. Yes, it can sweep a lot of teams with its moveset. We also have to keep in mind that if you're going to rely on Focus Blast, it's 70% accurate, and I don't truly think that a sweeper would have inaccurate moves. You know, saying that haphazardly because I suck at accuracy and I'm just really unlucky, but I don't know. I don't think it should go to Ubers. I don't think it's overpowered. I really don't. I've seen Special Defensive Politoed taken, and Special Defensive Politoed is #1 on the tier, and #1 in the OU tier, and I don't understand. Like, you know, people are just complaining for the sake of complaining because they think they're going to get their way. It's not like it's Genesect or Tornadus T where it needed to go. It's like Keldeo, where people are like, oh, Keldeo, too powerful in the brain. Oh my god, we can't deal with it. Dear Mother of God, get rid of it, kick it to Ubers. Over there, up there, get rid of it. I don't want it anymore. Frick, people, you got Jellicent, you got Gastrodon, you got a whole bunch of counters to checks and counters to it. Shouldn't say just counters. You got checks and counters. Same thing with Landorus. It's got checks. It's got its own weakness, which is priority, and it's not like you're relying on one. It's not the Genesect Heatran situation where you needed a Heatran just to check Genesect. You've got, or actually, Tornadus T was kind of like Rotom Wash. I think Rotom Wash was the check to Tornadus T, even though it wasn't really a check, because, you know, physical superpower kind of smashed it. But, yeah, it's not like it's in that situation where you need a specific Pokemon to stop it. You just need a special defensive poke that can take an Earthquake, or an Earth Power, or a Focus Blast. But, I mean, you know, in something like OU, that's kind of how it works, and that's why I'm not a fan. Like, you know, I'm not a fan of Pokemon who need a specific... If you think you need a specific Pokemon just to stop another Pokemon, then that Pokemon that is supposedly unstoppable by everything else should probably be moved up the tier. I don't think Landorus has a specific... I don't think he needs Mamoswine to stop him. I really don't. I think, you know, there's enough special defense walls out there who can fire off Ice Beams, Ice Punches, and stuff like that, outspeed him, and just trick him and destroy him. I don't know. And if you see a Landorus, generally you're going to assume he's going to set up because of that, so I'm pretty sure people would be prepared for that. I don't know. But that's all I have to say about the tiers and discussions and suspects. So we'll keep an eye on Moody, we'll keep an eye on Landorus. I really hope they... Because Landorus is in discussion, so it's not being tested yet. They're discussing whether or not to test it. And I want to kind of be that pessimistic communist where, like, please don't discuss. Just don't. Don't. Please. I'm already pissed off at Scolipede. Now you're going to do Landorus? Please. That's something that's even ridiculous in itself. But that's it. That's all I have to say today. I'm actually running a little bit longer because why not? But thank you so much for watching. Now, before I end off, if you guys have been keeping up with the Pokemon X and Y spoilers, they showed a new form of Mewtwo. It's something like Mewtwo Godspeed form or something that my friend told me. I'm going to show you something, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mewtwo, okay? I'm going to stick my face in here. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Mewtwo, the Gen 1 badass of legendary Pokemon who raped and destroyed everything. This was the original people, and ladies and gentlemen, even though he's original, he's actually a clone of an original legendary named Mew. You're going to give a form another form. It's not Giratina 3.0, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mewtwo. You are going to frick with Mewtwo by giving him Mewtwo Dildo form? You can shove that dildo form up a donkey's ass. I'm ProPokeNoob. Thank you so much for watching, and have an excellent day.